safety device that I purchased for more detail, but it's just way too uncomfortable to wear. And I kind of when I wear it, it's kind of it affects my mobility. So I need mobility when I'm out and about. So that's why you know I kind of like said, you know what, I'm not gonna wear that Hans safety device. Because it goes around your shoulder, on your shoulders, and around your neck. And I said, you know what, I don't want to wear that walking around all the time. If anything, it's just like like a Halloween deal, and that was it. So, I didn't want to wear that no more. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's I find it interesting how people treat you, and it's like this is definitely like something. It's a psychological deal. When people don't see your face or your eyes, they're more apt to look in your direction and look at you and stuff like that, opposed to if you could see my eyes. And I find that very interesting. It's definitely something to do with psychology in terms of how that whole thing works. And like, let me give you an example. I was last year I dressed up as Kyle Busch, and I was wearing the same outfit that I'm wearing now. With the Snickers helmet and and this brown and white and yellow M&Ms jumpsuit that I have on right now. So I wore that last year. This is the first, Kyle Busch outfit that I actually wore last year in 2019 Halloween. And and I went to this like bar, or it's like a bar slash restaurant or whatever. So I went there. I went to a couple places. That was just one of a few. And I found it interesting how there was a lot of women who walked up to me. And you know I think when it comes to, like, at least women, in that scenario, I think they're really attracted to, they're intrigued by, mystery, because they couldn't see nothing about me. They can't see my face or anything. They don't know nothing, right? And I think that's enough to get women intrigued, because they were walking up to me, and I mean, I know it's Halloween and everything, so a lot of people get that liquid courage and stuff, and stuff like that. So I know a lot of that have to do with it. So that a lot of that has to do with it and stuff like that. So, you know, and but just they might have had something to drink. Maybe some of them. I know some of them didn't, but some of them did. They had the liquid courage or whatever. But they just was walking up to me, and it was fine. I mean, it was Halloween, right? So they was complimenting me on my outfit, on my costume, so to speak, and just engaging me, and stuff. And I didn't really take it any particular. I didn't take it anywhere. I wasn't like, oh, they're coming on to me. I just took it for what it was. They was complimenting me, and let's face it. I mean, wearing a NASCAR costume, I put that in quotations because I really don't see it as a costume per se. Yeah. I mean, I don't see it any different than like maybe an NBA fan or an NFL fan, or that's wearing like a jersey. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to NASCAR, I mean, it obviously the uniform, the NASCAR fire suit is really like, it's like it that's it. It just covers your whole identity. So I don't really see it as a Halloween costume. I mean, obviously it could be used for a Halloween costume, which is, fine. But of course, I mean, people look at me wearing these 3 costumes I have, and they're like, oh man, this guy's really extending his Halloween costume, man. You trying to draw out Halloween, man, for a whole month in November? And I'm like, I don't really see it that way. I'm like, well, NASCAR season is still, it's still going on. Phoenix, we got Phoenix for the last race and whatever. And then we have the championship or whatever. So I don't really see it as, me walking around in a Halloween costume. I really don't see that at all. But I could understand how they would say that and say, hey man, what are you doing walking around the Halloween costume? Halloween just passed, So I don't really, it doesn't bother me. I don't really care, And but it makes sense that they would assume that that's what it is. But for me, it's not a Halloween costume. And but it's so fun. It's really fun. And I mean, what can I say? I'm loving it. So, but yeah, man, when people don't know what you look like and they don't know your identity, they act so bold. I mean, I was kind of taken back by it at the time when I first did it last year. I was really taken back by it, and I was like, wow, like people just engage you like they know you, and they're so bold about it, and it doesn't bother me. I'm fine with it. This is what I'm, this is the type of interaction that I want. I want people to engage me, but I just didn't expect for people to be so social towards me, right? And it doesn't matter that they don't know me, right? It doesn't matter that they don't really know who I am, but I think the saving grace is that I'm taking on the persona of Kyle Busch, and I think that's what it really comes down to. And so when people see me, they see Kyle Busch. Since they don't know who I am underneath the helmet, they say, "Oh, look, Kyle Busch is walking down the street. Look, and whether or not I am him or not, they would never know that, and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, if you're, a NASCAR fan and Kyle Busch is racing right now, he's not walking down the street, So, but yeah, so it's just, it was just kind of an eye-opener, So it's definitely an eye-opener. But also too, I think it's coupled with they're just fun, like the funness of it all, right? Kyle Busch's paint schemes as it pertains to, M&Ms and Snickers and Skittles and all that stuff and Starburst. It's just fun because so, and when people look at me, they don't they don't see a threat. They say, oh look, he got the candies and stuff. That's cute, They don't really see it as a threat in any way. So it's really disengaging when I'm walking around with them. And the thing with me is like, I like the way the NASCAR jacket, the M&M's NASCAR jacket looks, but it's like, initially that's what it was about. But then as I started watching NASCAR, it really did. It was about the NASCAR driver himself, Kyle Busch, and then it was about him winning, and then the sport in general. So it kind of morphed from